As grocery prices rise, the president's approval rate drops, and he blames Democrats for all of it. It's time for the Streamline. Everything you need to know in 10 minutes or less. In a campaign-style rally Tuesday, the president tried to reassure Americans that the economy is healthy. But a new poll from Ipsos and Reuters shows the majority of Americans disapprove of how Trump is handling the cost of living. The president shifted the blame to former President Joe Biden, saying the issue of affordability is a Democrat hoax.
They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. You know, they always have a hoax. The new word is affordability.
And despite the president's claim, the price of some groceries is up from a year ago, including a lot of products directly impacted by the president's tariffs. Coffee is up 41%, sirloin steak up 20%, frozen orange juice up 12%, and bananas now cost nearly 9% more. On top of rising prices, government data shows job growth has also slowed and unemployment has risen to its highest level in 4 years. The Federal Reserve could make a move to help with costs. It's expected to announce an interest rate cut today. Economists say the Fed could cut rates by as much as 0.25%. This would be the third cut this year. President Trump has pushed for lowering the interest rates to help with inflation, but this could have the opposite effect because if borrowing costs drop, shoppers and businesses may spend more, and that could lead to higher costs. Meanwhile, Democrats pick up another big election win ahead of the 2026 midterms. Eileen Higgins will be the next mayor for the city of Miami. Her win Tuesday breaks a nearly 30-year Republican streak. She beat former city manager Emilio Gonzalez in a runoff. Gonzalez had been endorsed by President Trump. Higgins largely focused her campaign on the issue of affordability in one of the most expensive cities in the U.S.
This morning, a suspect is in custody after police say a gunman opened fire on Kentucky State University's campus. One person is dead, another still in critical condition right now. The 48-year-old suspect is not a student and has been booked on murder charges. Now, the shooting happened at a dorm during finals week before students go on winter break. In a statement, the university says there is no ongoing threat. Police believe the shooting was caused by a personal dispute. Tuesday's shooting comes after two other historically black universities were targeted in separate shootings during homecoming weekends in October, one in D.C. and one in Pennsylvania. Well, check out this video here. You see that plane there landed on a car right on the freeway. This was the I-95 highway in Florida. Now, that small plane apparently lost power in both of its engines, made that emergency landing, crashed on top of that car. The driver there, a 57-year-old woman, she came out of the crushed vehicle, definitely looked dazed, but surprisingly okay. She had minor injuries. The pilot and the passenger on the plane were not injured. The FAA says the plane had been in the air for more than an hour for an instructional flight when it had that engine problem. Glad that driver is okay. All right, another thing for parents to worry about with the internet, the FBI is warning about an online group targeting children. Now, the agency says it's a, quote, new form of modern day terrorism. The group is called 764. The FBI says its goal is to cause chaos through, among other methods, sextortion. The group's anonymous members find vulnerable teenagers online and then ask for private information and sexual images from them. They then use that material to coerce victims into harming themselves or others while streaming live on social media.
The videos, the chats that we are seeing and reading are the most graphic that I have ever seen in my 20-year history.
More than 2,000 reports of abuse were tied to 764 or other similar networks in the first 9 months of this year. That's double the number last year. Senators have now introduced a proposal to criminalize the intentional coercing of minors to harm themselves or others. The FBI is tracking 350 potential suspects nationwide.
Well, this morning, kids across Australia are locked out of their social media accounts as a first-of-its-kind law takes effect. Australia has banned children under 16 from having social media. It includes platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
This reform will change lives for Australian kids and allowing them to just have their childhood. For Australian parents, enabling them to have greater peace of mind.
Some experts say the law will force platforms to adopt stronger protections and it will improve mental health for kids. Other people, though, insist that a blanket ban is not the solution. The companies disagree with the ban but say they will use age verification technology to comply with the law. While it's only in Australia, parents in the U.S. can use this as an opportunity to talk to their kids about social media and staying safe online.
So I'm sitting outside the county administration building on a 70-degree December day, and it all makes sense why so many people want to move here and why people are willing to pay around $1 million to do so. These guys at the county administration building are collecting over $9 billion in property taxes. That money funds education, so libraries, counties, services, and 99% of the time people pay their taxes. But it is a window into why young people can't seem to buy a home here, and I've got some questions about that. Believe it or not, it really impacts our cost of living here in San Diego.
Well, I would generally say, first of all, everyone in this county should be concerned about the cost of housing.
Listen, San Diego's base tax rate is actually pretty typical.
It generally varies from parcel to parcel, but it's somewhere between 1 and 1.25%, give or take.
The reason people are paying so much is because of property values. Here's a good example. This home on Zillow is worth a little more than $1 million. The monthly payment is just over $6,000, and taxes account for $1,000 of that. There's an article from the Federal Reserve Bank in Minneapolis where economists argue that in certain scenarios, raising property taxes could increase housing supply because it nudges landowners to sell. Obviously, there are some downsides to this proposition. So blame the sunshine, soaring property values, or the way we structure our taxes. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Emily Coffey, ABC 10 News.
Okay, teachers are not the only ones annoyed by the 6-7, well, and parents too. Every parent knows this. All right. It is now spread to one of the most popular burger joints across California, and they've taken action. Apparently, someone high up enough to make a difference at In-N-Out decided to take a stand. People magazine has confirmed the fast food chain is banning 67 from its order system. An employee says that change was actually made about a month ago. Meanwhile, some competitors are capitalizing on the meme. Wendy's has added a 67-cent Frosty deal. Pizza Hut now has 67-cent I am over it. Jared is also over it. We're all over it. If every parent has seen this every day of their lives. All right, that's your ABC 10 News Streamline. Everything you need to know today in under 10 minutes.